Oh, what is going on, guys? You got the one and only Lee Bob here, and the only reason why you're seeing this is because the last video reached 5 likes. Thank you so much for getting 5 likes on that last video. You guys must be excited about computers. Macy, are you? Well, I'm excited about steak. I'll tell you that right now. Have you ever noticed, Daddy, that my shadow is a circle? Yeah, why is that? Everything in this world is square, but why is your shadow a circle? I think they're trying to pull a fast one, Daddy, and I just think, oh my goodness gracious, that is the best steak that I've ever had. Well, Cal, do you want a steak? Cal didn't want the steak. Well, that is probably his mommy. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a little logic. And the logic is going to deal with making the binary system work. So why don't we go over here and do a little recap really quick, just to do a quick refresher course of what we learned last time I left this up. Remember, we normally count in base 10. If you need to watch the last episode, I explain it completely in that. And binary is in base 2. There's only 2 numbers, 0 and 1, that you're going to see in that. And up is 0 and down is 1. And if you remember right here, this represented 1, 0, 1, 0, and that means 8 and 2 is going to be 10. If you want to get technical with it, or you want to think, if you want to count it in your head, which I don't know why you would, watch. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it's a lot easier having those signs and kind of visualizing that. So for our computer that we're going to make, we're only going to need to remember 1, 2, and 4. We're not doing a 4th bit on this. We're just doing 3 bits on this, okay? So let's talk about a little bit of logic here, okay? We need to make it to where our computer, and next time you're going to see this, I'm building it on the ground. Next time you see it, I'm going to incorporate it in the sky, and then I'll do the next part on the ground so you can kind of see what's going on. But to incorporate the binary into this, we need to have some logic to tell a computing an out. See, these are going to be buses. If you see the black, that is going to be what's called a bus. That is going to be what buses the information across. So we need to have a system to where an output, this is going to be your output bar right here. An output is going to tell a screen what to do. Basically like with a computer monitor, okay? So what our computer is going to do, it is going to be able to calculate, if we put in a binary number, it is going to have a screen that shows us the number as the output. So if you put in right here, say for example, if you put in 3 in binary, remember 1, 2, 4. 2 and 1 is going to be 3. If I put in 3, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to see a screen that is going to output the number 3. So how in the world, you may be confused now, how in the world are we going to do that? Well, the way you have to do it is you have to make logic here. You have to make it to where when I flick these levers, it's going to activate a bus right here, therefore making an output work. Are you confused? Well, why don't we just go ahead and make the logic work? For it to be 0, we're working on 0 right now. Think of this bus right here being 0. How do we make 0 work? This is how you make any kind of 0 work. You have to have a torch on the side, and if you guys are building along with me, I would love to see your products and how you design it and how you make it. If you make your own computer, if you're following along with this tutorial, I would love, 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 love to see a video of yours and maybe a picture of the computer you're working on. You can include that, do it on Twitter. I've got my Twitter handle and everything down there, or send me an email. I've got my email down there. So this is how 0 works, okay? And how each bus is going to be. There has to be redstone up top, a redstone torch, and a piece of redstone here. This is your output, okay? So what this is basically saying, if this redstone torch is lit up, this is going to be true. And not a single other one is going to be true on here, okay? So when this lights up, that output is going to go to the screen. So if I input 1 here, 0 will not be true because I have activated this redstone up top. 0 will no longer be true. So how do we make 1 true? Well, let's go ahead and make all the rest of the blocks we need, okay? Give me 1 second. We're going to have to make 8 total rows for this logic to work all the way, okay? Actually, no, we're actually going to need, let's see, if we've got 8, no, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're actually going to need 7 because we're not doing the 8th row. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you need to do is you need to make this exactly if you want to do a 3-bit binary computer. Alright? So there you go. Now, this is what I want you to visualize. Okay? Do you remember how we flicked the lever down over there to signify 1? Okay? For that logic to work, this is going to be what you got to visualize. That is going to be 1. Okay? Do you understand that? If I put redstone right here, I flick that down, that's going to activate that. Okay? That is 1. Okay? But for 1 to work, everything else has to be dark. So we've got to continue that pattern. Let me get the black wool back. I need some black wool right here. Okay? So we're going to put 1 there, space 1, space 1, like that. And then we've got to create our next bus across the top. This is going to be our 1 bus. Okay? So now I have to put redstone in between each one of these so they can communicate. And now I will show you afterwards how the logic works. Okay? So if there's going to be a 1 in that place for that number, there you go. It's got to be there. So when there's 1, there's only 1 torch. So now I have to make the zeros. So basically, let me put this right here to show you how this is going to work. If something equals 1, there's going to be a torch there. Okay? If something is going to equal 0, there's got to be a torch there and a torch there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Okay? So now 1 is going to be justified after I put do not forget your redstone dust. There. You see how that works? Right now 0 is true, because up, up, up is going to be 0. There's no 1s in this thing. So that deactivates here and activates this. But now, if I flick 1 down, 1 is now true. Okay? 0, now it cannot happen. 0 cannot happen until I take 1 off. Okay? So, to make the number 2, remember 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. That is going to be, did I lose you there? That is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 is 1, 0, 0. 5 is 1, 0, 1. 6 is 1, 1, 0. 7 is 1, 1, 1. Okay? And we have just made the binary code for the numbers 0 through 7. Okay? So now the next part, what you've got to know, the way this works so it won't be laggy, is you've got to have repeaters on this next part. Okay? So let's throw repeaters down, and they have to be going this way, Lee. And if it helps, you can do that. So every other one, if you're doing this tutorial with me, skip 1 and then do repeaters. That way we just reduce any kind of lag. And then you can go ahead and throw some redstone dust down in between all of the other ones, in between each one. There we go. Okay, so remember, now 1 is true. So how are we going to make 2 true? Well, we've got to start putting down this. Let's start working on the bus here. I'm going to throw the bus on top, like so. And remember, if it's 0, and remember, we've already put our torches on top to signify the 1s. We have to make our 0s now. So wherever there is no torch right there, we have to do that. So we can go ahead and actually throw all the torches right here so we don't get confused. These are going to equal 0. Every one I'm putting a torch on there is going to be 0. Alright, so now let's go ahead and make this right here so we can make our bus on top. I hope this is making sense to you guys. I'm trying to explain it as easily as I can so that you can really understand that. We need to throw redstone dust on the top, and then a torch, and then a torch, and then a redstone dust. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up the rest of this. I think you kind of understand the way that that's going right there. I'm going to finish up the rest of that. I'm going to make a cut in the video, and I will be right back. Okay, guys, and we're back. Alright, now I've got this whole logic finished, and everything was just basically a carbon copy of what I did before, minus the torches, okay, because the torches had to signify each one. Okay, so now as you can see over here, I have numbers here displaying each block. So we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 0 is lit up because we now have 0. Remember, up is 0. 0, 0, 0. Okay? So now let's count our binary. 1. 1 is lit up. Alright, so 1, 0 should be 2. There we go. 1, 1 is going to be 3. So now that 1, 1 is filled up, I can't go anymore. I have to add another place. So 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0 is going to be 4. Okay? 1, 0, 1 is going to be 5. I know I'm doing a lot of running back and forth. There's 5. I'm just testing each one of these, troubleshooting. 1, 1, 0 is going to be 6. There we go. And finally, 1, 1, 1, the grand finale is going to be 7. That is how this logic works right here. So if you didn't understand it, go back through and watch the video if you're doing a tutorial with me to kind of build your own little computer, and you can see exactly how I did it. The only part I skipped is a little tedious part. Macy, are you okay? Daddy, I've never understood binary before, but I think I'm getting a little bit. Yeah, well, you're a good girl. You're a good daddy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you understood what I was talking about here. And when you see the next episode, this is going to be up in the sky. I'm going to recreate this on a. I'm going to suspend it off the ground some. And then in the next episode, I'm going to show you about the output monitor and how we're going to do that. So, guys, I hope you're enjoying this series. And the way that you're going to unlock the next video is this video is going to need 5 likes as well. That's the way these videos are going to unlock. So if you want the next part of this series where I start doing the output, you need to do 5 likes. So get your friends, get everybody on here. If you're enjoying this series, you want to see the next one to build your own computer, give me 5 likes and you will see the next one. But you got the one and only Leave Off here with Macy, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye, guys.